Hey guys, what's going on? This is Throwing Knife Killer, and I just want to apologize in advance for the quality of the video that you're about to see. Now, in the video, there's some light flickering and different things to that, and I recorded it yesterday, and it could have had something to do with the background. I'm on a different background, as you will see, and it could have also had something to do with the blinds being open and light from the outside maybe causing it to flicker. It's not really flickering on my iPhone, actually playing it back, but for some reason on my computer, after it's even rendered, it has flickering, and before in the raw footage it has flickering. So I just wanted to notify you in advance. If you don't want to actually see the video, you can at least listen to it to help you out. So I thank you guys, and enjoy what you're about to see. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Throwing Knife Killer, and today I'm coming at you with a video regarding what is Airsoft. So if you're a regular subscriber and you already know what Airsoft is, you don't necessarily need to watch this video, but you can for your enjoyment. But this video is intended to really help those people that don't know what Airsoft is, because believe it or not, there are people that don't know what Airsoft is. And hopefully I'll just clear up some questions they might have in their heads, and just share some information about Airsoft that I have in my head with them. So first things first, what is Airsoft? Now, Airsoft is a sport. Believe it or not, it's a sport. And what happens in Airsoft is you've got some sort of airsoft gun, and it can be like this, propelling a plastic BB forward, and you're looking to hit the target. Now, sometimes you may miss, but that is your objective, basically, is like to hit the target. If you're playing team deathmatch, you're on your own team, maybe you have 6 players on a team versus 6 players in an enemy team, and you want to just take out the enemy team using your plastic BBs, and it can be one-hit kill or whatever. There are so many different variants of Airsoft games and Airsoft objectives, because you can play capture the flag, you can change all these things, all these variables in Airsoft. But yeah, one type is team deathmatch. Now, another thing you can do is just maybe sit on your deck and snipe some targets set up on trees, or something like that. But either way, you want to make sure that people know you're using airsoft guns, not real guns, and you're in a safe environment, wearing some safety goggles, playing airsoft and all that. And so you don't want to get shot in the eye by a 6mm BB. Plastic BB. My friend actually got shot in the eye. Now he can still see, but he's got a second pupil, and he's got to get some glasses and whatever for that. But if he would have just worn some goggles, that could have been avoided. So you guys really need to wear safety goggles when playing Airsoft. So like I said there's 6mm BBs, and that might bring up the question, can I use a BB gun for Airsoft? No, you cannot. People have asked me this, and I just want to make sure you guys know you cannot use a BB gun for Airsoft. Now, a BB gun uses a .177 caliber, 4.5mm BB, and it's a metal BB to propel, are being propelled forward out of the BB gun. Whereas this right here, like I said, is using 6mm. That's different if 1.5mm. You just can't deal with that, okay? Because one, if you're using a metal BB, 4.5mm in the airsoft gun, can fall out of the gun and screw up your gun possibly if you're doing something. And if you're using a plastic 6mm BB on a 4.5mm BB gun, you can just explode the BB, I'm guessing, and mess up the gun. I've never done that, because I do know you're not supposed to use airsoft BBs with BB guns and vice versa. So yeah, that just clears up a question for you guys that some of you may have had. So another thing about BBs, now they're propelled by electric, battery. This isn't AEG, it's automatic electric gun, and it uses a battery as well as a motor and a gearbox and a spring and all that stuff to propel the plastic BB forward. Now, there are other guns such as the CO2 powered gun, which uses a CO2 cartridge that can look like this, a 12-gram CO2 cartridge, and it either goes inside the gun itself or inside the magazine, and it propels that 6mm BB forward. Another thing that you can use is a spring gun. And now these may be popular for younger players. When I was starting, I was using spring guns. And what they do is they basically use air and just shoot the baby. Airsoft, air, yeah. Anyway, it's just using that manual action like that to shoot the BB. Instead of having something like semi-auto with a CO2 gun, or even full auto with a CO2 gun, or with an AEG. Now, there are other types as well, you know, and you can check out on my channel for the Airsoft Essential series, where it talks about those different types of guns. And actually, I will have links somewhere around me at the end of this video if you want to stick through the video and just worry about the links later. So, the BBs, they're 6mm, 6mm over here, but there's one big difference, and that is the weight. You see, these right here, I believe they're 0.20 grams, which can be very popular BB, where these are 0.43 grams, and they're very heavy. You know, there's 0.23 grams heavier than this BB. And as you get heavier in weight, generally the price is going to go up. Like these right here, 2,000 for 27 bucks. You can get over 10,000, or actually around 10,000 for less than that if you're getting 0.2 gram BBs. Now there's a very big difference there. Now another thing is that when you're using airsoft BBs, you're going to want to make sure they don't have seams in the BBs, and you want them to be one solid piece. I've had BBs that are called Super Nicety. Used them in one of my guns and it just broke the gun. Basically, I took the gun apart and fixed it, and now it shoots like, I don't know, 6 FPS. Honestly, it'll go from me to like that wall over there, which is 20, I don't know how many feet away. Anyway, you want to make sure they're seamless BBs. That's the point of getting out there. And it was just a plastic piece stuck inside with seam BBs, so don't use cheap BBs on your expensive airsoft guns, or even on your cheap airsoft guns, like a spring pistol. This thing right here, not very expensive compared to a CO2 pistol like this. And so, yeah, the reason for different weights, though, is the power of the gun. Now, airsoft guns, they're generally counted in meters per second. That's how fast the BB's moving, or feet per second. In America, you know, a lot of it is feet per second because we're different than everybody else. And so, yeah, a gun can have, like, you know, less than 200 FPS, which is very low. That's what feet per second is abbreviated as, FPS. Or it can have above 500 FPS, which is super high. Anything really above 400, that's very high, and fields might not allow you to use that unless you're using really far range rifle, like a sniper rifle and all that stuff. But anyway, as you increase your FPS, you're going to want a heavier BB. So if I'm using something like a 300 FPS gun, I'm going to want to use some 0.2 gram BBs. That way, the BBs are more accurate. Now, if I had like a 400 FPS gun and I'm using just 0.2 gram BBs, the BBs might curve and do different things because they're lightweight or lighter weights than 0.43 gram BBs, and they're going at a higher speed, and the accuracy just won't be as good. So what you want to do is go to a site maybe like evic.com. That's my favorite airsoft retailer, and you can check out on their chart that has like BBs versus FPS and stuff like that. So it'll have, you know, ranges of FPS and what you can use for BBs, like coordinating with that FPS. And so, yeah, I've got different BBs like 0.12 gram, 0.2 gram, 0.23 gram, 0.25 gram, and 0.43 gram. I've got all sorts of different BBs because I do have a lot of different guns and all that stuff. So hopefully this video has helped clear up some things about airsoft for you. Like I said, you're going to want to always wear eye protection. You can't use an airsoft gun from like a BB gun. You can't use a BB gun as an airsoft gun. You don't want to do that. There are many different types of airsoft guns out there, or multiple, several, whatever, and a lot of different BBs, a lot of different brands, and all that stuff. But this video is just, you know, meant to form a basis of what airsoft is, and that is propelling a plastic BB at some sort of target. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you look around me, there are some links here for, I don't know, like primaries right here and secondaries right here and equipment somewhere over here, maybe right here in my chest, I don't know. So yeah, I thank you guys for watching this video. I hope I've helped you out greatly, or at least somewhat, and thank you guys for watching if you've stuck through this whole video. I appreciate that, and goodbye.